Okay, quick video just talking about the Cue mix so that we can actually send a signal to our musicians on a live floor or something like that. Now the way this works is that on every single channel that we have, we've got some auxiliary sends, and we've got what are known as the Cue ones here, which is a pre-fade stereo send which has its own pan pot. So if you have a signal coming down here, for example, this is a bass drum, for example, you've got its own pan pot to the mix, but you've also got a pan pot so you can spread it across a pair of stereo headphones. And that is from QA or QB. Now QA is what feeds headphone 1 in the live room, and you'll see that on the junction box. Headphone 1 is when this is in QA mode. Okay. Now in order to make QB, you need to actually have to press an Alt and then press this button here, and it switches that to QB, which is red. But we very rarely use that because we're not really making multiple mixes. So let's put this back. So when it's in QA mode, hold down the Alt FX like that and press down the button here, and now it switches off and we're now back to QA mode. Now at the moment the default setting is all the way to the left, means it's off, and when we press it down it switches it on. And then what we do is then we lift this level and it sends whatever's coming down this channel out through this Cue bus all the way along, so every single track has access to it. So QA comes to what's known as fallback A here. And all you need to do is tell this to receive its signal from QA. So we press down QA and we can now hear the signal. So let's just have a listen now. So this is a mix that we've got playing here. Okay, this is coming out of the main mix bus out through our main speakers. So I'm going to press solo here. So we're now listening to our headphone send fallback A, which feeds headphone 1 on the live room floor. And now you'll hear me build up the mix that I want. So this is obviously the left drums, so switch it on and raise its level. This is the right side of the drums, so raise its level. And then we can pan this left and right, so there is a pan of stereo of these two drums for the person using headphones. Let's add some bass. So this is the bass channel on number 3. Okay, so coming back up here, switch on the Cue mix here, and we turn up this. Let's add some guitar to the Cue mix. So press that down and pan to the left. Add some organ. Okay, so that could be the mix that we're hearing. Okay, so just press stop here. So let's just go back to the beginning and let's bring a bit where the vocal is playing. So this is our mix in here. This is what we're hearing. And now let's solo the headphone mix. Okay, so we create an independent mix for the musicians from QA, which is pre-fade, which means we can turn these down and we won't lose the signal to the headphones. Okay, so if we want the vocalist, go to the vocal channel, switch them on and turn it up. Okay, now also the Cue mix here is also where the signal will go to the control room monitor output, so that you can plug in a pair of headphones in here and find it on the patch bay, which is the XLR one, so that you can actually mix with headphones in here as well as the speakers, which is very handy because sometimes we need both those environments in order to see how our mix is going. Okay, so just to prove that we're getting something out of a pair of headphones here, I'm going to play my mix. I'm going to turn it off from my main speakers here, but come over to my headphones. Okay, let's mute that. So I've got a headphone mix, and then I've got my main mix there. Okay, so there you go. That is managing the environment. We bring our mics in, we got our channels that we can hear, and then we've got a cue mix for every available channel that can create a headphone mix for the musicians. Now remember, our desk could be configured with live microphones coming on one side, replay from the computer on the other side, but both the live mics and the replay are all going to our main mix for us as the engineering here, but they all have access to a cue mix as well for the musicians. And if you want to talk to the musicians, you can, because we've got fallback A and fallback B talkback buttons. And when we press this down, this activates this mic at the top here so that you can communicate with the musicians.